There's definitely no shortage of horrible feminists when it comes to the internet, but there's one so horrible and so abrasive that she managed to gain an almost supervillain-like infamy more or less overnight. Big Red doesn't seem to pursue the spotlight like some others, but when she has it, she leaves an impression. A horrible, shrill, nightmarish impression.
Shut the fuck up for a second! Feminists do not want you to lose custody of your children. The assumption that women are naturally better caregivers is part of patriarchy. Can you shut the fuck up for a second too?
Well,
so I can
he just
my
listed how
this is a list of the things that we're working towards. Now, if you would shut the fuck up for the 50th billionth time.
This footage was taken in 2013 at the University of Toronto. Big Red and her feminist posse turned up to protest a men's rights seminar and ended up pulling the fire alarm, forcing everyone to evacuate the building. That's when this confrontation took place.
Feminists do not want you to have to make alimony payments. Alimony is set up to combat the fact that women have been historically expected to prioritize domestic duties over professional goals, thus minimizing their earning potential as their traditional marriages end. The assumption... I'm reading, fuckface. I'm trying to I'm letting everybody else hear it, okay? It's not just for you, Mr. Entitled. Feminists do not want anybody to be raped in prison. Permissiveness and jokes about prison rape are part of rape culture. Rape culture is part of patriarchy. Feminists do not want anyone to be falsely accused of rape. False rape accusations discredit rape victims, which reinforces rape culture, which is part of patriarchy. Feminists do not want to be lonely. We do not hate nice guys. The idea of certain people are inherently more valuable than other people because of superficial physical attributes is part of patriarchy. I don't know if you're noticing a theme. Patriarchy.
Yeah, you keep going.
Anyways, I'm not done. Feminists do not want you. Shut the fuck up.
See, the sooner everyone shuts the fuck up, the sooner we'll all realise that every problem that has ever and will ever exist is caused by the evil patriarchy. You know, men.
Is it not?
No, I don't think it is. Fuck this whole discussion about...
The next clip is by far the most fucked up. While debating with Big Red and one of her friends, some of the seminar attendees raised the issue of Canada's high male suicide rate. Watch how Big Red responds.
Because, like, apparently men have been oppressed for being men.
We make up 80. We make up 80.
That's mental health issue. That's not a mental health issue. That's not a men's rights issue.
Have you checked out CAMH? Have you checked out CAMH? There are about 4 programs for women and maybe 1 for men. So go down to the grave site.
Now, the reason I bring up Big Red is because we've recently been given a closer look into the way her mind works. Last year, filmmaker and all-round sweetheart Cassie J released her controversial documentary The Red Pill, and Big Red was interviewed as part of that documentary. Well, just recently, Cassie released the full uncut interview with Big Red, and it's interesting. Let's have a look.
There's still a lot of sexism in terms of like gender roles, and we're still expected to be wives and mothers and things like that. So no, we're always trying to dismantle gender roles. At the end of the day, that's really all we want, is to really dismantle gender roles.
You heard her, fellas. Women are still expected to be wives and mothers and things like that. Maybe it's about time that men stepped up to the plate. Maybe we should be the wives and mothers from now on and give women a break.
Feminism is a movement about the discrepancies, like when it comes to women's equality, because we're still not there yet. And so for like when we create a space, our own space, to talk about our own issues and the things that we have to deal with, whether it be harassment or objectification or, you know, income inequality, whatever the case may be, you know, these MRAs decide to like go trample on our parade and say, but what about the men's? Shut the fuck up. I'm sorry. You have been taking over our politics and our media for God knows when. Like since God knows when, I should say. You know, so don't even start with that whole, oh, but you don't think about the men's issue. Well, then you know what? Start your own goddamn movement, which they have, but maybe make it a little more about legitimate issues like custody and alimony and things that you think are unequal, which all stem from patriarchy. Men
can have a movement as long as it's dedicated to bringing down the patriarchy.
Oh my God, feminists are trying to take away our kids. no, dipshit. That's not what we're trying to do. We're not trying to do that. I mean, if they look at the root causes of why, for example, you know, women get custody more often than men do, women are supposed to be the mothers. They're supposed to be the natural born caregivers. So obviously, duh, you has a vagina, so obviously you're going to be able to take care of the kitties. That's really what it is. It all stems from sexism against women.
Wait, so women having vaginas is sexism against women?
So it's not discrimination against men that these MRAs seem to think it is. It's discrimination against women, and consequently, it negatively affects them as well. So that, I mean, we are, in a sense, not directly, but we are indirectly still working on their issues, but it's more like we're trying to dismantle patriarchy, which will then help them. So, anyways.
Yeah, that makes complete sense.
As I was saying before, if you're about like custody battles, alimony, homeless men, suicide rates, things of that nature, by all means, go ahead, focus on those things, find like the root cause of what those things are.
Patriarchy.
But don't turn around and say that it's because women have equality now and therefore that's why men are getting kicked out of their houses and are on the streets.
I've literally never heard one single person say that men are getting kicked out of their houses and being forced to live on the street because women have equality. Never. Ever.
What? No, like dig a little deeper, do some research, figure it out, and then you can have a movement.
Big Red shall permit men to have a movement when they figure out everything is caused by patriarchy and all men are cunts.
I'm not against men having their rights, but, you know, in the history of everything, men have always had rights. Men have always had rights. That has nothing to do with it. Like, I mean, if you... like, victim blaming is it's a huge part of rape culture. The more you blame the victim, the less blame you put on the perpetrator, and the cycle just continues. Because obviously, I'm gonna rape her because she's got a short skirt on. Duh! It's only natural. I can't control my urges. I'm just a man beast. You're not doing it right. Really, you know, I can't believe she's trying to ruin my reputation. Cry me a river. Oh wait, I'm already famous for saying that.
Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. Make sure you go and have a look at the full video at Cassie's channel. You'll find a link in the description. Cheerio.
Recession, recession.